So let's go through a couple of examples using this set of rules here, these set of phrase structure rules, sentences and noun phrases and verb phrases, and our sentence plus, right, our S bar, which involve complementizers followed by sentences. Let's walk through a couple examples of using these types of rules to figure out if a particular sentence like this can be generated, right? How do we figure out the structure of it using these rules? And so the first thing you want to do is figure out, again, what categories these are. So I'm going to tell you Sarah's a noun, thought is a verb, that is a complementizer, hoggle's a noun, was is a verb, is a determiner, and cheat is a noun. Okay, so then what you want to do in general, for English anyway, is start from the end, right? See if there's a rule that will allow you to combine the last two things together, right? And the answer is, so we have a determiner and a noun, and the answer is, yeah, there sure is, right? So why don't we put that together into a noun phrase using this rule, and now we end up with this sequence of symbols, really. Noun, verb, complementizer, noun, verb, noun phrase. And so we're going to do the same thing. Can we find something that will combine a verb and a noun phrase together? And the answer is, we sure can. Okay. We're going to combine those into a verb phrase. So now let's try looking for a noun and a verb phrase together. And you're like, no, nothing there. Okay, so the next thing you want to do is say, well, what about just the noun on its own? Do I have anything that does a noun on its own? Oh, I do. Okay. So I can replace that with a noun phrase using that rule. So now I have this sequence of symbols. And now let's go back to trying to combine the last two things, noun phrase and verb phrase. Oh, I do have one. Okay, good. I can make a sentence out of that. So let's go do that. And now I want to do the last two things, complementizer and a sentence. Oh, I can do that. I can make it into an S bar. Fantastic. And what about the last two things, verb followed by an S bar? Oh, I got one of those. I can make that into a verb phrase. And then noun versus in a verb phrase together. Well, no, I don't really have anything. I do have that though. So is there a way to turn this into that? Yes, there is. So I can turn a noun into a noun phrase, and now using this very first rule up here, I can turn a noun phrase and a verb phrase into a sentence. And that's how this sentence gets mapped all the way back to being a sentence generated by this set of rules. So let's do another one. That Hoggle lied surprised Sarah. So if you're an English speaker, you feel like, yes, okay, this is a sentence, so how can I get to a single S at the end? So let's start once again with our syntactic category. So that is a complementizer, Hoggle is a noun, lied is a verb, surprised is a verb, Sarah is a noun. Okay, so let's start. Do I have anything that will put a verb and a noun together? No. Do I have anything that will just let me do a noun on its own? Ah, yes. Okay, so I'm going to turn that into a noun phrase. Fantastic. So now let's look. Do I have anything that will put a verb and a noun phrase together? I sure do. Let's make that into a verb phrase. Fantastic. Do I have anything that will put a verb and a verb phrase together? No. Do I have anything that will put a verb on its own? Yes, actually. So maybe that's what I should do with this. Why don't we turn that into a verb phrase? So now let's go back. Do I have anything that will put a verb phrase and a verb phrase together? No. Okay, so let's leave that alone. And let's go back here. Do I have anything that will put a noun and a verb phrase and a verb phrase together? Nope. How about a noun and a verb phrase? Nope. Okay, how about just a noun? Aha, there we go. I can turn a noun into a noun phrase. So why don't I do that? And now let's try again. Verb phrase and verb phrase? Nope. Noun phrase, verb phrase, and verb phrase? Nope. All right, noun phrase and verb phrase. Ah, okay, yes, I do. I can turn that into a sentence. Okay, then once again, let's try again. We're like, okay, sentence and verb phrase? No, that's a sentence bar, an S bar, S prime. So if I can get to an S prime, I'm good to go. How do I get to an S prime? With a complementizer followed by a sentence, which I happen to have. Okay, let's turn that into an S bar, an S prime, and now I have this rule up here that will let me take these two guys and turn them into a fully formed English sentence. So that Hoggle lied is your S bar, that thing, that surprised Sarah, right? And then you get your S at the end.